Let's take a look at the currencies now, and the Indian rupee has ended the day at over 5-week highs today on your screens, more than 0.25% of a gain coming in for the currency, and there's a flash on your screens at the bottom as well that the dollar index has declined quite sharply as well. It is trading below 80 on the screens, and that perhaps would be another reason that you have seen most of the emerging market currencies on the higher side. Also, investors are eyeing the third quarter GDP data, a strong finish in the domestic markets. All of that has been supportive for the currency there. Well, the GDP growth for the third quarter of FY14 is likely to come in below the 5% mark at around 4.8%, despite the pickup in exports and agriculture. The agricultural growth is expected to remain strong at 5.4%, but industrial growth is likely to see some contraction as investments continue to dry up. The government is expecting to end the FY14 with a growth rate of 4.9%. Political stability is going to be the key to reviving the investment cycle in FY15, as both agriculture and exports are showing some signs of pickup. The inflation, though, is still a concern, with few economists seeing the RBI hiking rates by 25 to 50 basis points throughout 2014. Vijay, what is your sense? I mean, we are awaiting the GDP numbers any minute now, and we have seen a huge movement coming in for the currencies, not just in India, but the dollar index as well.
Manisha, the strength in the rupee has more to do with the weakness in the dollar rather than any incumbent strength in our own currency markets here. What you have seen is the US dollar index breach a critical support level, and I think the emerging market currencies are therefore getting rebalanced vis-a-vis the US dollar. At this point in time, I do feel it's more of a temporary phenomena, and strength in the emerging market currencies is basically likely to sustain in a few days rather than few weeks. And I did talk about 79.65 odd levels for the USD index last couple of trading sessions, and I think the absolute near-term support is at 79.60. Unless the USD index goes fairly convincingly below that, I think the dollar index might just bounce back up. And the thing to watch out for would be the Euro USD. I think most of the weakness in the US dollar has come because the Euro is now appearing strong vis-a-vis the US dollar. And in the next 2 or 3 trading sessions, if the Euro eases off against the dollar, the emerging markets also will start to ease off in tandem with the Euro.
Let's also get in Robert Pryor-Wansford. He's head of Asian and India economists at Credit Suisse. Robert, hi. We would all really want to know about the Indian rupee. On what's your sense really going forward for the currency in the next 3 months now?
We're mildly bearish about the rupee. I think the rupee will depreciate a little bit over the next 3 months. Now that view is premised largely on the assumption that there will be some easing of these restrictions on gold imports, or perhaps some cut in the import tariff on gold, which, along with seasonal factors, I think may well see the trade position, the current account position, deteriorate somewhat from the recent very good numbers that we've had over the previous 3 to 6 months or so. In a tapering environment as well, it's not impossible that the rupee can appreciate, but I think it makes it, at least at the margin, more difficult.
Robert, also, how would you look at the rupee going forward now? What's your sense coming in on the dollar index also, and how would you look at all of that impacting? And what's your sense on the view of the growth levels in Indian markets?
Quite a lot of uncertainty about where the macroeconomy is heading. Have we seen the bottom in growth, or are we is the economy just going to track sideways to down over coming quarters? What is the RBI going to do with this likely new inflation targeting regime? Are we heading for further interest rate increases, or is the RBI now done? In brief, our view is that we are past the bottom in the growth cycle. We will see some improvement in growth. It's not going to be fantastic, but I think it is going to be stronger than many people anticipate in this coming fiscal year. At the same time, however, I think the RBI, after a pause now, will be hiking rates again from the September quarter.
All right, that's the view coming in from Credit Suisse as well. Vijay, to you as well. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us a sense on the currency markets.